China Chowra, I think it is.
Hi, Mr. Trott, my question to you is, obviously you have had a washout in Melbourne. Tomorrow you come to Brisbane and there's also prediction of showers. So how are you preparing yourself? How's the mood in the camp?
Fine. I said to the guys, we've got to be prepared to be adaptable, which we were, I think, in Melbourne. We were ready for a 5-over game if it was the case, and it could be the same tomorrow. Forecast says it's really only rain in the morning, so that helps us with the Gabba draining really well as it does. But we do know in Brisbane that it does rain. It does rain a lot, so they're forecasting quite a lot of rain in the morning. But with it to clear up in the afternoon, so hopefully we get a full game and an ability or an opportunity to get some points.
So we'll move on to the next question. I think it's Bashir Barwal. So Bashir, you can go ahead.
Hi, Jonathan. It's Bashir Barwal from ACA. Is Zaze fit for tomorrow's game? I think there was some news about him being injured. And my second question is, teams like Afghanistan, they wait for years to face some big teams in the World Cup, but when they come to the World Cup, their games are abandoned. Only in the games so far, I think there's been 8 teams who has at least one game abandoned or announced without result. Afghanistan has the most. 2 of their games have been announced without results, and tomorrow's game is also with a forecast shows rain. Do you think these games should be rescheduled, especially if it's more than one, like Afghanistan situation? Is it fair for the team in place to have more than one game abandoned in these sort of events?
It's difficult, and there's so many things that go on behind the scenes to organise games and schedule them, and hospitality and all sorts of security that's organised, and so to reschedule games is a real headache. The last press conference I said, obviously the frustration was there's an indoor stadium down the road, but to be able to move things around is a huge operation. So to understand the size and the things that go on is really difficult to have or change things last minute. Those things need to be in place way before. So that's not an option. So it's not even really worth thinking about at the moment. So that is disappointing. Yes, we've had 2 rained off. We need to be able to focus on tomorrow's game and put that behind us. It is unfortunate. Obviously, teams like Afghanistan, you want them playing on the big stage as much as possible, exposed to the pressure. For future tours and for the players to develop and grow. That is disappointing, but we have to move on. As with regards to Zazai, he's being assessed now, and we'll have a word. We'll have some news a little bit later, I think, with regards to his availability. Anyone else?
Bashir, do you have a follow-up question? Or Shayan?
Someone's got their hand up.
Yeah, I think it's Shayan. I think Bashir it is.
Bashir, yeah.
So, any more questions?
Yeah, my question was more about for future events or the future games, because when you wait for a few years and then you have like at least like two or more games abandoned. Do you think it's fair, for players, and especially for teams like Afghanistan who don't get that opportunity more often? They haven't played, let's say, New Zealand Arabian World Cups.
I think so. For opportunities there to have reserve days or whatever, especially when you're playing it in you would say the sort of spring or the rainy season in places. Yeah, that's a possibility, but everything's hindsight, and we're not at all saying that that's the case or feel hard done by. It's about looking forward now and making sure that we focus on tomorrow's game and hopefully putting ourselves in contention for the Australia match to go through.
Yep, and for tomorrow's game, the team haven't played, I think, in the past 5-6 days. Do you think that will have some sort of effect on them for tomorrow's game or the game after?
No, I don't think so. I think certainly it will be fresh. we'll have a lot of energy going into games. So it's exciting times. We've played at the Gabba in a pre-tournament game as well, so we've had a bit of experience. So the guys are looking forward to that, and it's a great stadium. And we had over 2 weeks preparing here in Brisbane. It's a little bit warmer now than it was when we were here preparing for the tournament. So this is proper Brisbane heat, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, just final question. Will we see, players, the new players, the players like Salim Safi, and get a chance to play in this World Cup in any of the games?
Yeah, when the team's selected or when teams announced, you guys will be the first to know.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next one. I think it's Irfan Khattak, so you can go ahead with your question, Irfan.
Hello, I am Irfan Khattak. My question is that Afghanistan are in hunting a fast bowler. Maybe it's a challenge for you to produce fast bowler for Afghanistan. Do you think Afghanistan have ability about fast bowlers?
Yeah, I think so. Very exciting, and hopefully we can see a few more through. I think you see the likes of Faruqi, obviously very skillful and bowls a good pace. It's a new ball, so we'll be looking towards him tomorrow with regard to taking hopefully a few in the power play and setting the game up for us. But also I think Salim's come in and has been impressive the way that he gets the deck and the way he bowls at the pace that he has. First time I've had eyes on him, so very impressed. And again, with Farid and Naveen, you have the skill of those guys. So, it's great. It's good headaches to have for selection.